What is up, everybody? It is Midwest Raider fans, and we are back online, Zoom style for you. And we are going to be talking about some Raiders football. Super excited. It is 2025. We are getting into free agency, getting really close to the draft, all the rumors, all the excitement, but we're still not there yet. So we can't get too excited. I know Jimmy's already told me a little bit as we've been chatting beforehand that he's drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit, but I don't know if I can say I'm quite there yet with whatever we got going. There is a lot of positivity, but we do have, a new coach, Pete Carroll, and with Chip Kelly now on the offense, and we still maintained Patrick Graham for the defense. So that's all exciting, but we still have to put a team together, and I just don't think we quite have that yet. And I just want to start off today by saying really quick, thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully, you guys can like, subscribe, and share all that type of stuff. We're just here to bring you content and talk football, Jimmy.
Yeah, no, I agree. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment. We love talking Raider football. And like I said, it's good to be back. I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so not a whole lot to talk about. Like I said, I have more questions than answers. And, obviously we're moving forward, getting closer to that draft day. And hopefully, once the draft comes, we'll have some more key players, pieces in line, and we'll have more to put out.
Right. Well, let's jump in, and I think we want to just start with the transactions that we have lost. That has kind of hurt the Raiders, in my opinion. And so we'll go over that list just really briefly. But the big one, in my opinion, is Robert Spillane. Losing him as a linebacker, not only was he the captain of the defense, but he, even with Max Crosby there, I still think Spillane was still the heart, along with Crosby. When Crosby wasn't around, I still think he was helping that defense mold because, like, they pretty much said if Crosby wasn't there, Spillane's the man. So I think that really hurts. We lost Harrison Bryant to the Eagles. Spillane went to the Patriots, of course. We lost Marcus Epps to the Patriots as well. So the Patriots are putting together a little team here for defensively. We lost Gardner Minshew and Alex Madison. Alex Madison went to the Dolphins, which is funny because they took our running back and we took their running back, which we'll talk here about in a little bit. And then Gardner Minshew went to the Kansas City Chiefs. So good luck with them for them. But those are some of the players that we've lost. And like I said, I think my biggest one was Robert Spillane. Harrison Bryant, he did a lot of good things. Came in mostly blocking, but he did have a few catches. I remember him being good. I didn't bring up Divine Diablo. We lost him as a linebacker too. So we're kind of hurting on linebacker core. And we'll talk about that a little bit more into the video. But yeah, we're kind of hurting for linebackers. And so, Jimmy, go ahead and jump in. And what do you think of these players that I talked about? Which one do you think is the most detrimental to losing for the Raiders?
Yeah, no, I'm going to piggyback off you. I think
Hmm.
that was Spillane. He was the heart of the defense with, especially with Crosby. Those two together, it was, nice watching them on Sundays. Then when Crosby went out, Spillane was the guy. So that was the biggest one out of all. Obviously, I loved Epps. He was great back there as well. And then, like you said, we don't really have linebackers now. We have a couple guys, that came in for injuries and stuff towards the end of the year, but none of them stood out. No like playmakers like Spillane. So obviously, I think you'll talk about it, but yeah, it kind of hurt. We're going to switch it up a little bit with the Patriots linebacker there, Ellis, but unfortunately, that didn't work out in our favor. So I don't know. It's going to be tough, and obviously, linebacker, that's one of the key positions. I mean, obviously, every position's key. If you have a weak one, then they're going to exploit that. But linebackers, man, it's going to be some heavy sledding. So hopefully, we can get somebody
Yeah.
fill those shoes.
So, so yeah, it's going to be tough. With those, some of those were pretty good players, and I wish we could have at least maintained. Okay, here's a good question for you. Who's one of those besides Robert? We'll take him out of there because I know that would be the one that you would say automatically. Of those other players, I don't know if you can remember them all. Who would be somebody you wish we could have retained?
I'm probably going to go with Epps. I think Epps is, he was a Raider through and through, and if we couldn't have kept Spillane, it would have been nice to keep them both. I know, like obviously, we got to make some moves. We want to be a
Yeah.
winning team, and it wasn't, we weren't getting the job done with what we currently had. But again, I don't think that was necessarily our defensive issues last year. So I think if, not talking Spillane, I think Epps would have been probably key. Or Diablo, Divine. I don't know. I mean, it's tough. Diablo, like I said, those linebackers are, few and far between. You got to have, heart, and you got to be not just physically tough, but you got to be mentally tough. Those linebackers are, hitting those holes, and you have those running backs that are coming, full speed at you. So linebackers, key. And again, I don't nothing against the guys that are, still with us. Hopefully they improved, obviously in this off season and as we get going on to the next season. But yeah, linebackers, that's tough.
Yeah, I would probably have to go with Diablo. Like I liked him. I liked his jersey name. But no, he was a really good linebacker. I think definitely helped us ever since we, drafted him. So I think that's a big loss. Of all those people that we lost, but besides Spillane, in my opinion, I really would have liked to retain him. So everybody out there, what do you guys think? Let us know. Put it in the comments below. Who's somebody you wish we could have retained this year? And let us know why. That'd be awesome. All right, let's really quick get into who we signed. Let's talk about some people we signed. Let's talk about players that were free agents. Sorry, not free agents, but well, I guess that they were free agents, but we already had them on the team. And so we did end up signing Max Crosby, which is also awesome. That's a multi-year deal, but got him signed. Isaiah Palomalo, which is awesome. He was a safety, came in, filled in like a champ, in my opinion. He was only getting better. So super excited about that one. Malcolm Coons, of course, injured all year, but I am happy to see him back, but hopefully he can remain injury free. I think that's going to be the biggest thing with that signing. And then we did sign Adam Butler, which I'm excited about. He definitely earned his money last year. So those are people that were on the team that we did get signed. And of those four, what do you think? Anything,
Yeah,
Jimmy?
I'm really excited about Kuntz. I hope he can stay healthy. And I think some of the additions we got on offense, so we can hopefully sustain drives and keep our offense on the field so our defense isn't taking as many snaps will kind of help out with those injuries. And again, I mean, that defensive line, you figure you got Coons on one end, Wilkerson in the middle, and our boy Crosby on the other end. I mean, I think they can do some damage. And hopefully, like I said, injury willing.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so next we'll get into the free agency pickups that we've made so far, and I think, of course, everybody's probably heard about Geno Smith. We did pick him up for a third round pick in 2025's draft, which I think is pretty good. Like Geno Smith for a third round pick, I'm okay with that. So I think that's good. We picked up Jeremy Chin. He's from Southern Illinois. He came from the Panthers. Um, I'm not going to go into like what I think of him. I'm just going to kind of go through him here really first for you guys. And then we picked up Lonnie Johnson Jr. from Kentucky. That's where he came from, but he actually came from the Texans and it was also with the Panthers there. Picked up Raheem Mostert from the Dolphins. Uh, I do. And here we picked up Darnell Holmes. He's a cornerback from the Giants, but I did hear that he had been injured a lot, and so he was kind of not playing all last year. But then we got him signed now that he's healthy. And then we have Eric Stokes, another cornerback from the Packers. And then I was going to talk about Christian Ellis. Jimmy did bring this up earlier, but we were looking to sign Christian Ellis, for, linebacker from the Patriots, which we really needed. He really was like a, not, I wouldn't say a Spillane copy because you can't copy Spillane. He came with some attitude and aggression that can't be copied, but he was a really good comparison to Robert Spillane. I'll put that. And but it was almost a done deal, but they had to wait for the Patriots to have time to go ahead and see if they could match the offer from the Raiders. And I just read news that they did match the offer. So it's looking like he's going to stay with the Patriots and not be a Raider. So that's kind of breaking news that we're hoping that we're bringing to you if you guys haven't heard that yet. So that I think that kind of hurts because we're definitely looking for linebackers right now because we don't have a lot in the building. So, but they are. From what I've seen, pretty good players that are coming in here. Definitely nothing that we spent really huge on them. They're all looking to make an impression for big contracts later. So I think what they're doing so far is good, and they're going to be improvements. Um, I think the barring thing is that, like I said, like with Darnell Holmes, is I think injury. So hopefully he can stay healthy and show us what he can do on like a 1 year contract. So, all right, all those guys, Jimmy, what do you think? Any knowledge on any of those guys?
Yeah, no, obviously we kind of saw what Geno Smith did as quarterback. Obviously, that's the team right there. So I like his mobility. Hopefully, we can get some depth on the offensive line to help him out. But I think that'll be good. Like you said, that with our offense, guys we have coming back, Jacoby Myers and Bowers, obviously, uh, you know, uh, they should be good, like I said. So it's going to see. We still need a lot of key parts. Like you said, we still need some depth. We still got a long ways to go. There's more questions than answers. Um, but as far as like you said, for the moves we've made, I think are good. Again, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. Kind of wish we would have kept a couple of those guys on defense just to, keep us, from the similar starting spot to where we were last year, and
Mhm.
not so much a beginning like we are kind of looking towards now. But we'll see. I like Patrick Graham. I think he did a good job. So I'm sure they have some ideas running around that they're obviously not telling us, and well, they'll put a decent team together. Like I said, I think that our defense, if our offense is going to be able to sustain some drives, it's going to free up our defense, to get some more time on the sideline and not take as many reps, and that'll ultimately help. And again, I think Mostert is going to be good. Hopefully, I know he was injured there for a while, and then he was kind of the second back there out of Miami. But I think he'll do good here, especially if we pick up some depth on that offensive line. I think we'll get a running game, that was pretty much non-existent last year. Free agents. I'm going to say this real quick, just so I know everybody knows. I'm a huge, huge Abdullah fan, so he's still out there. So I think we can get him fairly, on a decent deal for him. That's works for him and us. And I'd like to see him. He's a big, he's a Raider through and through, and he can do so much. Whatever you need him to do. So I kind of hope we can work something out and get him back as well.
No, I absolutely could agree with Abdullah, man. He was on fire with the last couple of games of the season. Really, the heart of the offense. Really, what kept the offense going. Honestly, in my opinion, really the leader, the veteran that was keeping them on point, in my opinion. And there, I remember one game, and I'm pretty sure I don't even know if we won that game, but he ran so hard, uh, and it would just surprise me. I'm like, he's a veteran. He We're on a losing team, and he didn't need to do that, but it just showed what his heart is. Right there, I would have signed him for another year just based on that off that game. So yeah, I looked extremely good. I wouldn't mind signing him for another year if he wanted to stay with the Raiders. Another thing that excites me is I'm drinking the Kool-Aid on Geno Smith a little bit just because he's and we've heard it before with, Garoppolo, when they have winning records and they win and that kind of stuff. But I didn't realize how mobile he was. And so when I watched some highlights on him, it really surprised me. And so that's something we haven't had, mobility, really I guess the smarts to be able to read the pocket and get out of the pocket, scramble mobile. Uh, Minshew could do that a little bit. Aiden's not that good at it, and so this is going to be a huge improvement in my opinion for that. And I think those are the two big things I kind of want to talk about. I knew you were going to bring up Abdullah, so that's I want to talk about him and Geno Smith. Like I said, I was super surprised. Um, I'm kind of not hating that. Like I said, I didn't realize how mobile he was. I watched a lot of highlights and how many times he actually just peels out of the pocket and then he can move downfield pretty fast. So, Jimmy, got anything else?
Yeah, no, it's good to be back. I like talking to everybody again. Like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. You're, not happy with somebody we picked up, or you're,
Mm,
super excited like us on a couple of the guys. Like I said, it's ultimately going to see how we go along,
mm.
who else we pick up, put those pieces together, and get them out there practicing. Got to get in some rhythm, get those guys to gel. Obviously, the draft's coming up here, a little over a month, under a month. I don't remember. I don't know. Towards the end of April there. So we're not going to go into that. They're all over the place. Obviously, we still need quite a few key
Mhm.
positions,
Mhm.
players. So it'll be exciting to kind of see what we do. And it's funny just watching all the news. Oh, they're going to move up and trade
Mhm.
up and do this to get this guy, or we're going to, we'll
Yeah.
wait and see.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. All right. Well, we're kind of doing good on time. So I just wanted one last thing that we'll put in here and we'll surprise Jimmy with this. So first round picks coming up. Raiders are on the clock. What do you want for the Raiders?
whew. I think personally, I would like to see us get a wide receiver. I
Okay.
think we keep Geno Smith, quarterbacks out there. I mean, without making a move, I don't think we really need to reach for a quarterback. I'm not sure that anybody stands out necessarily. So I would like to see a wide receiver. We kind of spoke on this earlier before the video here, but yeah, like you said, we need somebody fast. Somebody like the Chiefs. Xavier Worthy, speed. Another guy a little taller. And I think that would help us out a lot. Smith can throw the ball, and then that's three weapons. You got
Yeah.
Jacoby, Bowers, and then if we get another one, again, nothing against Turner, we have him, but just adding some depth, and then like I said, hopefully Mayers, I think our second string tight end there, I think he'll be out there. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how we play it out because I could see him, lining Bowers up in the slot and then still having Mayers in there and doing some different things. And we also know Chip Kelly's, fast offense. He wants to get the ball down the field quickly and, score touchdowns. So it'll be interesting to kind of see. But I could see us going for a wide receiver. I know there's lots of talk out there, quarterback and
Mhm.
running back Gentry. And I mean, we've seen all sorts of stuff, all crazy
Mhm.
stuff, but it'll be
Yeah.
exciting.
I agree with you because Geno Smith had two awesome receivers. I was gonna look it up, but I won't look down here. But I know one's Lockett, and he's a
Mhm.
great receiver. But I can't think of the other one on the Seattle. Can you think of any right now? No. But
I can't
yeah,
offhand. No, I'd
yeah.
have to
I
look.
know he had two really good receivers, and it messes me up. I can't think of the other one. But, anyways, yeah. So I think he needs, and those guys aren't super fast receivers, but they're just really good hand receivers, good slot open, can get open that type of thing. So
Route
I
runner.
think yeah, route runners. I think we have those. We have Jacoby Myers, we have Brock Bowers, but we need put some speed over the top, open up the field for those receivers. And wow, man, that's an old school Raider defense or old school Raider offense that I'd be excited to watch again. So a receiver would definitely be nice. I definitely am looking. That would be nice. No matter what, I hope we pick up some kind of receiver. And I heard there's a lot of them, so I think that's good. I'm just gonna say really quick. I'm still rooting for a quarterback. I hope that they pick somebody up to train under Geno Smith. There's going to have to pick somebody mobile like Geno Smith. And so to fit that offense. So if Geno goes down, somebody can fit like a carbon copy almost of him. So I will have to say a quarterback I would like to see still. There's so many options out there that aren't fantastic, but I think that we still need to pick somebody up, in my opinion. But hopefully, we don't reach for somebody that we don't need to get in that first round. So that's my opinion on that. We're not going to say players or anything. We're just going to say the positions of what we think we should pick up. If you guys have any comments on that, let us know. That would be exciting too. Let us know what we need in the draft. We need a receiver. We need another tight end. We need a wide receiver. We need a kicker. First round, Sebastian Janikowski. Uh,
There you go.
yeah, you guys let us know what you guys think we need in the draft. All right. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been Midwest Raider fans. Super excited to bring you content. Thank you guys so much. Like, subscribe, share. Hope you guys enjoyed. Just here to help and just here to talk some Raider football with you. So I'll let Jimmy say his goodbyes and then we'll get out.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, share, and until we talk again here shortly.
All right.
Go Raiders.
Yeah. As always, go Raiders. All right. We'll talk to you guys later.